Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and I am driving up to the Ocho, which is an 8-plex with 16 garages that I bought about a year ago. And we have a tenant who's supposed, well, not really a tenant, almost a tenant, who is supposed to be moving out at 2 o'clock today. It's 1:53, and we're going to see if she's actually gone or not. More like a squatter. We'll tell you that whole situation. She said she's going to be gone the next day for like 5 straight days. And this is a different situation than the house I bought that has the people who are supposed to move after the post-occupancy. That's a completely different situation. So we're pulling up to it right here. Sorry, I guess I should be showing you the property. And supposedly she's been waiting for people to come get her forever. Yeah. So we'll see what's going on. There's been oh, that's her over there, somebody over there. So maybe they're making progress, but it's been a crazy situation, as if I hadn't had enough crazy situations already with the break-ins and stolen camper on my property and all the other stuff going on. So we'll see how this goes. So there is someone going in and out and possibly moving stuff, so I guess that's a great sign. I told her I would give her $100 if she's out. All right, so here we are back at the Ocho, and this is a previous video I'm just voicing over because I didn't have time to record a lot of video because I was there all afternoon and things got a little bit crazy. So it did not go nearly as well as I hoped, getting the tenant who isn't a tenant out of the house. So the first tenant moved out. Their lease was up end of October. We gave them notice to leave. They said they left on the 15th. And then someone else showed up at the property. And this person supposedly was her sister. Turns out maybe is a friend. And she said she was there to clean the property for a little bit. Well, she stayed there for a couple weeks and did not leave. And every day said she was leaving and leaving and leaving. And she never left. Well, today I'm finally like, okay, she's leaving. I'll have the keys for you. And I told her I'd give her like $100 if she left. I know it's not very much, but just wanted to leave. So I show up. And that's the video we saw in the beginning. And she was gone. She actually did leave. She didn't tell me she's leaving. She's just gone. And we found those other people at the apartment. So it turns out it wasn't just that lady living there. There were more people living there too who weren't on the lease. And some of them didn't even know the lady who was originally on the lease. So one of them was her ex, who was the father of her child, apparently. And the original tenant said he wasn't living there. He claimed he's living there the whole time. And then he brought 2 friends along who were living there. He said they'd been there for 3 days. And then supposedly there was this other lady who was also living there. And I saw someone else with her at one time as well. And so they all claim that they're supposed to be there and on the lease. And they all claim they got COVID assistance to stay there and be in the property. And everything was fine, even though an eviction notice had been served. I've been there like over and over again and never seen any of these people here. None of them had ever talked to any of us. So it was just ridiculous. And then I'd pretty much made up my mind I was going to call the police and for trespassing because they weren't leaving. I'd even offered to pay them a little bit just to leave, and they weren't going to leave. And while I was there and while this was happening, our attorney had the eviction notice served because we'd posted an eviction a couple of weeks ago to show, just in case this happened. And on that eviction notice, it says, to the tenant and all occupants. And so because it said that, then technically they're not, well, they are still trespassing, but because it says to all occupants with the eviction, we can't just call the cops and tell them to leave because the eviction notice is right there. They saw it and they're like, oh, look, it says to the person and all occupants. And now they think they can stay there even longer. So we'll see how this goes. I was there talking a long time, and I won't divulge too many details, but there was no yelling or screaming or any threats or anything like that. But crazy situation. And while I was there, I had a couple other tenants come and talk to me, and one was like, thank you. Not all the tenants here are his words were, maybe I shouldn't say. One of the tenants was very grateful and said he tried to keep his place nice, and we'll leave it at that. And another tenant who we have an eviction for scheduled for next week came over saying she's got money, a very long sob story, and it's been 3 or 4 months, hasn't paid anything. We've asked her before to pay a little bit, and nothing has ever happened. And so that's a tricky situation there as well, but we do have that eviction scheduled next week. And these are both tenants who are left over from the previous owner when we bought it. So all the tenants we have placed have been pretty much on time with the rent, haven't caused any dramas, any issues. There's one that's a little leaves a little more stuff outside than we'd like, but yeah, they've been pretty good. And we did replace this garage door finally. I know this is an old video, and I didn't get video of it today, but finally the guy who rented this garage was able to give us access to install the new garage door. So all the garages should be rented. We thought this was going pretty well, but just still kind of working through some of the older tenants as well, because I don't think the last landlord was working real hard to screen those tenants before he sold it to us. He was just trying to get anybody he could in there. So we'll have updates for this. We'll see how this all goes. I was really hoping to have a vacant unit and show that to you today. That's not going to happen. We'll have some more updates, but we'll see. Now, on a good note, on the other property that I'm buying, the buy level that had all the stuff in the yard and the people were supposed to be gone, you know, like 10 days ago, and they're still there, and every day they say they're leaving. Well, I stopped by there today, and they're still there, don't worry, but they said they would be gone today. So obviously, they'll for sure be gone today. We know that's going to happen. All right, so we'll have updates on that property as well, too. Lots of interesting stuff going on. We still have the break-in at my office. There's been some new news with that. We think we know who quite a few of the people are. Now, if the police care or not, that's another story. But there have been more break-ins, more cars stolen, all kinds of crazy stuff. And honestly, it feels like other people are almost taking matters into their own hands. And I'm trying not to get like super involved in that. I don't want, you know, to go that route. But I've kind of been the police intermediary between the real estate offices and the police department and these other people on Facebook, and hopefully that will switch to someone else now. And we have the stolen camper on our property too, which is interesting in that they were booked, arrested, and released on $0 bail. And some of the other people who stole cars too, I've been looking through all this, were also released on $0 bail. And then you wonder why this keeps happening over and over again. But that's for another video. Maybe I'll make one going over all that and all the happenings there here soon too. All right, thanks for watching. Love all the likes, love all the comments, love seeing new subscribers. If you're new to my channel, for some reason I attract a lot of drama. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot that goes on in our real estate world, and might be some of the properties I buy, but this one really wasn't that bad. But there is a lot of drama here if that's what you enjoy. All right, take care. Be back soon.